Yo, what is going on today, ladies and gentlemen, to a very special video. We're going to be going over the top 5 cars that car enthusiasts are most thankful for. So without further ado, let's hop into the video. Alright, so the first entry on this list, we're going to be going over the legendary Ford Mustang. Now, why are car enthusiasts should be thankful for this car? Well, it basically kind of started the idea that you could have kind of a sports car for the masses, you know, like the crazy amount of numbers that they were producing back in 1965, 1964 and a half, you know, whenever this first came out, like millions of cars were actually produced within the first couple of years. It really did develop the idea sports cars aren't just for the rich and the famous or the, you know, the fancy people. They really are kind of like this central idea where anyone can have one, anyone can enjoy one, and anyone really can afford one. So, on to the second entry on this list. Alright, so the second entry on this list is the Toyota Supra. Now, what is so special about the Toyota Supra? You know, it only came out with like, I think 276 claimed horsepower. But what is legendary is the 2JZ. But what is legendary than the 2JZ is the fact that it kind of brought this modability into the car world. Like, you didn't have to be crazy to modify your car. Like, you know, back in the day they were reaching like 800 horsepower on these engines, which is like, in nowadays is almost double, like 1600 horsepower. That's a lot. Back then 800 horsepower was like astoundingly a lot. But, you know, the Supra brought this thing that you could modify your cars. You know, anyone could do it. Anyone could reach that high horsepower relatively easy. And the engines, you know, they are just bulletproof. No need for me to explain that. I feel like if you're a kart person, you already know about the 2JZ. But on to the third one. Alright, so the third entry on this list is Godzilla, also known as the Nissan GTR. Now, I'm not talking about as much as the later models of GTRs, which were still great in their own ways, but the first generation of the R35 GTR kind of, it made a supercar affordable. In fact, so affordable that some people even argue it's not really a supercar because it's so common. Like, I can't remember what the 0 to 60, but I think it was around 3.2 seconds for a car that was like, I think, don't quote me on this, around $60,000 like minimum. But it gave the idea that you could have a supercar for not that cheap and with outstanding performance. But, you know, the new ones kind of are a little bit more expensive, and the old ones still are legendary, but I don't think they brought anything too crazy. So, anyways, with that, on to the next car on this list. Alright, so the fourth entry on this list is the General Motors Chevrolet Corvette. Basically any Corvette that's ever built, you know, minus the C1 and the C2. Even though those are still good, they don't really apply to this fact. Is that it really, for one, even before the Dodge Viper, even though the Corvette, I mean, a lot of people argue isn't a supercar, it really gives that idea that, for one, America can build a really good, you know, really good supercar, and that you also, like the Nissan GTR, can afford a really high performance car. Like, even the new Z06s are only like $80,000, and I think they have a 3.5 060. Don't call me, I'm not Motor Trend now, I'm just, you know, some dumb guy in his basement. But, you know, it really does show that you can have a really nice car and you don't have to be a billionaire just to get it. So, with that, on to the last car on this list. Alright, so the final addition on this car is none other than the Mazda Miata. Now, why does everyone love the Mazda Miata? Well, it's basically that you can do anything with the Mazda Miata. You can take it off-road, you can make it a drift car, you can make it a drag car. Like, it is the ultimate platform. Basically, the limit is of your creativity. You can do anything with the Mazda Miata, I'm convinced. LS swap it, Coyote swap it, 2JZ swap it, RB swap it, K-Series swap it, McChicken swap it, I don't even know. But anyway, guys, I hoped you enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out my other videos, as I have a bunch of other top 5 videos on there. and I will see you in the next one.